Hey everybody, happy Halloween. Ooh. So, in keeping with the festive spirit, I've got this really atmospheric Tardigrain preset pack by DMT Cymatics to demo today. If you're buying that or any DMT Cymatics pack, you can help me out by using the link you'll find in this pinned comment. I get a little commission. That's a win-win for me and James from DMT Cymatics because it incentivizes me to promote his stuff, and it's really great, this. And honestly, you know, Tardigrain is a bit of a complex app, and I'd say that a lot of time went into making these. So in this video, I'm going to demo them. It's not going to be any kind of walkthrough of Tardigrain, but I will at certain points maybe point out some things about the UI. So here, I'm just going to use AUM's preset manager to load these presets because Tardigrain does not have a forward and backwards button for preset browsing. So I need to, you know, obscure part of the UI all the time if I want to use this, or if I get it away. I mean, I can use this, that's fine. Okay, so listen, I want to mention something really important about how to put these into Tardigrain after you buy them. So basically, when you buy these, you'll get a zip file, and you'll get a zip file. I forgot file zap over here. You'll get a zip file like this, and if you're lucky, when you share it, you'll see Tardigrain in the list of apps you can share to. But iOS file system is a bit weird, a bit funky. So if, like me, you've got a lot of apps that can take zip files, you might have a problem there. So there's a really, really simple solution to that. Now I only did this with the standalone app, but it looks like it would work in the AU. I don't want to do that because it might duplicate them all, but basically just drag this onto the UI of Tardigrain here, and it will install all the presets. Super cool, super easy. So very easy install. Okay, let's check some of these out. And so quick look at the UI of Tardigrain as well, maybe while we're at it. So we got our gain control here, and here your envelope. Now you can see that's being modulated. To adjust modulation or to check what's modulating what, just double tap on something. If you see this kind of movement, you'll know it's being modulated. And here we can see that this LFO here is modulating sustain. And we could drag here to reduce that, and then you can see, right? Like now we're basically not getting, we're getting a little tiny bit of modulation there. And so here, you know, the attack, and so on. So that's how you can adjust the modulation there. And of course, you can just drag the envelope and stuff yourself. And remember that you have this little help thing here. The thing is, it's just not that useful. I do wish that this app had a manual. Anyway, that's the great thing about getting preset packs like this. You don't really need to learn the whole thing yourself, and you can still have a great time with it. So yeah, you know, so this section here has stuff related to the grains. And over here you've got FX. This is the reverb, for example. One thing that's really easy to miss in this UI is that you can scroll, you see here, you scroll through different effects. So here we've got this wave shaper, pitch spread, so I'm just scrolling up, sample crush, And this is stereo spread. So again, you can see here that there's modulation set up. And you can double tap to play around with that, change the LFOs and so on. Let's jump on to another preset. So another thing that's very easy to miss in this UI is this. So if you long press on that for a while and then release your finger, this thing will open up here that shows you modulation controls for things like keyboard control, for example. You know, you could set up the polyphonic aftertouch here so that when you move up on the y-axis, you're modulating things. So you can do that here. You know, here you can adjust whether it's y-axis or x-axis movements that will modulate, and whether there'll be absolute movements or relative movements, and all this sort of stuff. The LFOs are in here. Let's jump out to another preset. So here we can see that the start and end points of this sample are being modulated. See here, this LFO is controlling grain start, right? So that's why sometimes here, the part of the sample that's blacked out there, that's not being played because the grain is starting later through the sample. If I bring this down here, then now it's going to be able to sample from parts of the earlier parts of the sample. I'm sending in MIDI to this from Zoa. So I'm just sending in monophonic MIDI because, as with many granular presets, these are really what you could call one-finger presets mostly. There's a lot going on, and it often sounds better to just play one note at a time. This is a nice one, isn't it? Oh, I love that. So of course you can also play chords and notes with the on-screen keyboard here. So that's a chord there. And you can edit all this sort of stuff over here. You know, what scale you're in and so on. Major or minor. What kind of chord you're playing, triad, seventh, and so on. Okay. I'll go through these pretty quickly because I don't want to make the video very long. It's really just to give you an idea of what things sound like. And I'm sure you'll agree they sound great. Just a little reminder, everyone, as well, if you're ever buying desktop apps, you'll find in the pinned comment of a lot of my videos a link to Plugin Boutique, which I can get a little affiliate commission from. It's so important to support YouTubers in this space because it's such a small niche. We make almost nothing from YouTube ad revenue. And the App Store does not have an affiliate program, has not had since 2017. And that's why there are almost no people left doing YouTube in this space. Nobody is getting paid fairly for their time. And that's why affiliate links or Patreon support are so important. You'll also find my Patreon in the pinned comment, and huge thanks to people supporting me there. If you're watching this video at the time of release, I also put a video up on Molly Looper yesterday, which was a sponsored video. Thank you so much to Oliver the Dev for being willing to support my work there. And there's a giveaway on that video for YouTube as well as other platforms. So if you're quick, you might be able to enter. Oh, these are so good. Just check the price again. $3.99. I checked this out, by the way, as well recently. Koala Sampler Sports Sound Pack. This is like all samples of stuff like, you know, people playing ping pong, for example, and cars racing and stuff. It's actually very good to do experimental percussion with. Really worth checking out. Quality stuff as well in these Discovery and Buzz Zone packs. Look, I mean, you can't really go wrong with any of this. I did a video a while ago on this. This is fantastic as well. So if you use the general DMT Cymatics link in my pinned comment and just navigate to whatever you want, you know, I'll get a little commission. So there's no need to use a specific link as long as you just use that general one. And thanks again to people who've already bought using that. I really appreciate it. This is really well named, this one, isn't it? It really does sound like Robot Monks. And so again, if it's not very loud, you know, just adjust the gain. And it can also be really cool to use compressors and expanders and things after these to play around with the dynamics. A lot of work involved in making 50 presets like these. And it's funny, in my video on Modular yesterday, somebody mentioned that this would be a good combination with Tardigrain, and then I just got my hands on this pack today. And sure enough, you know, Modular is a great combination with this, because you can do these small little loops that will add some rhythm, you know, and just make things seem a little bit less chaotic. One unfortunate thing is that in Tardigrain there is no way to create user subfolders. So unfortunately these presets are not labeled. I mentioned to James it would be great if it said, you know, DMT at the start. It's just another one of these things, you know, presets on iOS can really be a bit of a pain in the ass, because different devs implement things differently, and frankly some do a better job than others. In regards to the import thing that I talked about earlier in the video, where sometimes apps that should appear on the share sheet do not. This is why all app developers should have, as part of their preset manager, a button in the app that can be used to import and export single presets and banks. But like I said earlier in the video, here it's very easy with this one. We can just drag it on anyway, using the Files app and slide over. Whoa. This is so good. Great stuff. Okay, everyone, thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed this. See you in the next video. Take it easy.